Okay, so we don't normally come into a cup at this stage. We don't normally talk through this phase, but this is going to move really quickly once I get going. So I wanted to explain where I'm at. Excuse me. I base painted this white. I put a layer of the Winter Wonderland white glitter from Glitter and Pixie Dust on here because I needed that base for a tumbler for someone, and I didn't like the way the spray paint is showing through here. So I started over, and instead of scrapping this cup, we're going to shift gears and turn it into something else. So I'm going to do alcohol ink over the top of this. We're going to kind of do a little bit of a reverse rainbow. I'm going to use the TREX alcohol inks, and I'm going to use Amethyst, Deep Sea Blue, Tidal Teal, Jurassic Green, Sunshine Yellow, and Bellini Orange. In that order, top to bottom. The reason I need to be fully prepped before I start is I'm going to do this over turbo, and it never goes well when I use alcohol ink over a fast set, especially not a super fast set, so we'll see what happens here. So I am going to double glove one hand and mix up my epoxy, and then we'll get going on this. Okay, so my epoxy is mixed. My heat gun is plugged in and ready. When I get to my heat gun, I'm going to use it at its highest fan, pretty cool heat, because any heat added to this epoxy is going to make it go absolutely bananas curing. So and I'm putting a good amount of epoxy on here, basically so I can work quick, and it'll give it a chance to move as much as possible. And again, I am double gloved because I am working with alcohol inks and I don't want ink all over my hands for work tonight. Okay, outer layer of glove off. I'm going to start orange at the bottom. I'm going to kind of work back and forth with my colors. And I don't have a lot of yellow left, and the yellow and the orange are very similar always anyways. Oops. All right, I will cover these up in a little bit. You can see it actually drying and forming a skin on top, which I kind of knew was going to happen. So I may mix up a little epoxy and do a, yeah, what's the word for that? A white, bloom over the top. I don't think that's the word I'm looking for exactly. And I kind of want to put some stars on this. If I can find my 4-point like white or silver stars. But this is not exactly what I wanted at all. So I'll be back when I figure out what I'm doing. Okay, so we're gonna see if we can save this. I have some epoxy mixed. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of touch of neon in here just to put a little more shimmer back on top, because why not? Even though I'm gonna mix some of this with a white pigments. I'm just gonna mix it in all of it. I mean, you can still see the shimmer through just about all of the alcohol ink, but we'll see. This will either do what I want or this cup will get scrapped. So I'm going to put a good coat on. I'm going to leave 5-ish mLs in this cup for the white. And I think I'm going to try this white, but this seems pretty thin. Can you hear it? Even well shaken, it seems pretty thin. So I'm going to put a couple drops in and see what we get. Not bad. Maybe we'll just go with it and see what happens. That might have been too much. And I'm just going to drizzle this all over. I do want to get some on the bottom. Okay. So now I'm just going to put a little bit of heat to it, and we'll see what happens. Okay, I am actually fairly happy with that. This is the decal I intend to put on this. This is where that color gradient came from. So, and this is why I wanted to see if I could find my 4-point stars, which I did. So I am just going to sprinkle a couple of the stars on and then let this spin out to dry. Hopefully it'll dry. There we go. We'll let this dry and we'll come back. Okay, so this is dry and ready for decal. I think it's pretty cute. Probably went a little heavy with the white, but I really wanted to tone down the color a bit. I don't know why it's got these, like, I don't know, almost stripey looks going this way, but so the Salty Bee. I'm gonna put her on. Burnish it down good. See the 4-point stars. That was exactly what I wanted. Trying to find an edge. There we go. Oh, I ripped it. One little bit right there. So because this is a DTF transfer, if I wanted to, I could just leave this and not seal it again. I'm going to go ahead and put a quick coat of epoxy over it though, just so it's finished. Okay, so my epoxy is mixed. We'll get this on and this one will be done. I did take a minute and clean up the rim and inside, so that'll make final cleanup super simple. I like to do that before the final coat most of the time. But this should be the very last coat for this one. This one got kind of thick just because the extra layer with the white and everything. So that is it for this one. Again, not the original intent for this base in any way, but this is what I ended up with. And that is it for this one. I hope you like it, and I will see you in the next one.